days within the school before the person have to request to move from that school to another school. But nonetheless, that also has to be looked at. The person may request within that 3 period, before the 3-year period elapses, the person can move based on the genuine reasons as the two directors spoke about. Teachers moving from one region to another, the guidelines that is addressing this, that a teacher has to stay in this region for 5 years before the person requests to move from that region to another region. That is the strategic guideline guiding that aspect of teacher movement. And then, Samuel, one thing you have to understand, teachers have to be mobile. They have to move from one place to another. There are reasons. One, we can just have as short reasons. We have health reasons. To give examples, somebody may be a teacher who is posted to Bolibana, and the person is a sickly somebody who definitely has a genuine ground to move away from Bolibana to a place where medication is available. Okay. Then one has to understand that that person has to move, even though there are policy guidelines to say that you have to stay in the school. Yes, you have to stay in the school, but we have to, we cannot just compromise your life. We have to just leave you to move. Another, that is one example. Another thing is, that is in the social aspect of it is, we can have somebody whose husband is posted to a particular region. Even the person is not part of, is not an employee of education, but other line ministries. If the wife also is posted to the same region or another region far away from their home, this means that home will be some sort of in jeopardy. So therefore we have to look at those issues. Then teachers will come to the regional director, say that my husband is posted to region 6, I'm also posted to region 6. Okay. So therefore I have to.
We have also seen cases where some teachers would spend up to 10 years in a particular region or in a particular school. What is the likely reason?
Okay, there are so many reasons. So many reasons surrounding that. Samuel, if I tell you that some people, when Mr. Director...
Yeah, mostly, let me come. It is often misconstrued. Like some people who tend to believe that maybe they have personal connections with the regional directors. So,
not necessarily. Yeah, if you are outside the box of the island, you hardly know what happens on that island. If I tell you that there are certain people, if you ask them to move away from the region, they will bring all those community members, the elders, to come and beg you, I don't want to leave this region, or I don't want to leave these schools. Because why? When you look at the postings now, unlike before this year, the number of people reporting to human resources to say that they want to go
back to their...
they want to go to region 5 and region 6 is alarming. You know why? You see, we have a policy that is addressing that. Because when you look at the concentration of teachers in region 1 and region 2, qualified teachers for that matter, outnumber that of region 5 and region 6. But and we need quality education. Therefore, we must have qualified teachers in these two regions, upper regions. So teachers have to go there. But to take the teachers there is another nightmare. What the policy has put in place is series of allowances. You have to have, the best thing is the hardship allowance, have to reach allowance.
I'll come to that later, thank you. Mr. Suare, can you talk about the issue of stabilization after the first postings have been released?
Thank you very much.
And what are some of the major findings?
Exactly as I said, earlier on, that from the mounting of the postings, we get back to the regions. Yeah. And before school opens, you see teachers coming to see their postings. And after the transportation, we expect teachers to get back to their schools. All those posted, we expect, and we follow them up day one. See, most people think that when school opens, it takes us time to get to the schools. No, we are also prepared. The day one, the cluster monitors get to the schools to visit their clusters to see whether teacher attendance is very important. Teacher attendance here is very important. And then the regional office also staff will go follow up to see teacher attendance, to see how many of them have reported to schools. And during that process, that's where they also do what you call stabilization of teachers. Because when we are posting, we post teachers, looking at what Alpha said, depending on the enrollment of the school. And then we can post a good number of teachers in a school. And later, when we go around, we'll find out they don't need all those teachers in that particular school. And you go to another school where they are also under supplied. So you need to stabilize them. You need to get the teachers from this place to another place to make sure that everything is stabilized. And after the stabilization, you think that you are fine. Now everything is okay. You come back to your office and think everything is okay. In October, you start another problem. And then that problem is when teachers that you have already stabilized and that they are on the ground, you just to be told that they are at the college doing ATC primary or doing ATC secondary. Or some of them would also go to the university to do a program. So you see the gaps are also created. So where you start to look at also where to get teachers. Okay, and that's where we come up sometimes recruiting and employing unqualified teachers in October, because we must have to fill the gaps.
Very well.
Then the gaps are there and you look at your quota and you look at your resources and you know that you don't have any more qualified teachers to post those gaps, you will end up recruiting unqualified teachers. So you try to fill the gaps. So that's why I say posting is a process. It's from day one up to the end of the academic year. It's always, we are on the process.
Madam Cole, at the national committee level responsible for postings, how do you ensure fair distribution of teachers, that is qualified teachers in each region, ensuring that the same number of, or what the region requires is what you supply them?
Yes, it's according to regional requirement. Because before schools close, we would have got a request from the Human Resource Directorate that we need to give them what you call the teacher gap, teacher need.
Okay.
And we will have to conduct that survey, look at our teacher stock, and we look at the gaps based on the school's needs, the school's enrollment, and the number of classrooms available, and all those things put together, we are able to know how many teachers we will need in every school. And we ask for that number of teachers. But where the teacher supply does not meet that request, we will have to complement with unqualified teachers or untrained teachers. But I should quickly say that the need that we used to have for untrained teachers has drastically reduced, because the extension program has taken care of that. Now we have teachers coming from not only the Gambia College based, but we also have the PTC extension that is based in Jajambure, and they also turn out qualified teachers to the ministry. And for that reason, we now have more qualified teachers in the system than we used to have. So you'll find out that our need for untrained teachers has reduced drastically. We now, in every region, we can boast of more than 70% of our teachers qualified. And we all know again that according to the policy, we are talking about quality education. And obviously, we cannot provide quality education if we don't have quality teachers. So we have been spending time training teachers, so we have the right type of caliber of teachers to fill our schools with. And we expect that in another 3, 4, maximum 4 years, we would have had every single teacher in our schools trained and qualified. And then we would begin to see, we've already started even seeing performance being improved. quality of teaching and learning being improved in our